Ana Carolina da Silva was born and raised in a small brick house in a vibrant but underprivileged community on the outskirts of a large city. From a young age, books became her best friends and a window to a world that seemed distant. By the age of 16, her deep, curious brown eyes had already read more than most adults in her neighborhood. Her dream, fueled by every page turned and every story absorbed, was one: to go to college. She yearned to unravel the mysteries of history, to understand the complexities of the past so she could, perhaps, build a different future. However, Ana's reality was harsh and unforgiving. Her parents, Maria and João, were tireless workers. Maria spent her days cleaning the homes of wealthy families in the city center, while João worked odd jobs as a bricklayer. Their sweat and effort barely covered basic expenses: rent, food, and the always staggering electricity and water bills. The idea of college, with its expensive tuition and materials, seemed like an unattainable luxury, a dangerous daydream that could distract Ana from the harsh need to help support her family. Besides financial hardship, Ana began to feel the weight of prejudice. At school, despite being a brilliant student, she was often the target of veiled comments and suspicious looks. In a history class, when she questioned a Eurocentric view of colonization, the teacher, a middle-aged man with an air of superiority, interrupted her with a condescending smile. "Are you sure, Ana? It's unusual to see someone from your background so interested in historical details." The phrase, said jokingly but laden with subtle venom, made Ana's face burn. She felt the injustice and anger, but swallowed hard, promising herself that one day she would prove the worth of her intelligence and her history at home. The situation was no less challenging. Her younger siblings, oblivious to her academic dreams, demanded attention and resources. Ana often gave up a new book or an outing with friends to help her mother with household chores or care for her siblings. The pressure was constant, and the conflict between her desire for personal advancement and her loyalty to her family and community was a daily battle. Even so, the image of herself in a university classroom, history book in hand, was the flame that kept her burning, the promise that, despite everything, she would not give up on her dream. Ana Carolina was not easily discouraged. The teacher's words, though tinged with subtle prejudice, only strengthened her determination. She knew the path would be arduous, but her passion for books and her desire for a different future were powerful fuels. At school, Ana was an exemplary student, consistently achieving top grades, especially in history and literature. However, the brilliance of her performance was often overshadowed by the reality of her background. On a rainy afternoon, while the rest of the class discussed their plans for the university entrance exam and expensive preparatory courses, Ana felt a tightness in her chest. The conversations about exchange programs and renowned universities seemed like echoes from a distant world. A classmate from a wealthy family commented dismissively, "Why all the effort, Ana? In the end, you'll end up working somewhere simple like most people in your neighborhood." The sentence, delivered with a false smile, hit Ana like a blow. She felt anger bubble up, but took a deep breath, remembering her mother's words, "The ignorance of others does not define who you are, my daughter." It was during this period that the figure of Dona Lucia, her Portuguese teacher, became a beacon. Dona Lucia, a middle-aged black woman with a warm gaze and a soft voice, sensed Ana's anguish. She saw in the young woman the same spark of intelligence and resilience that had propelled her on her own journey. In a conversation after class, Dona Lucia offered a friendly shoulder and words of encouragement. "Ana, your potential is immense. Don't let the limited vision of some people dim your light. Knowledge is the greatest weapon against prejudice, and you have that weapon in your hands. Don't give up on your dream. I will be here to support you in whatever you need." Dona Lucia's words were a balm to Ana's soul. She began visiting the school library more regularly, devouring books and seeking information about scholarships and university access programs. The teacher, in turn, began dedicating extra time to Ana, reviewing essays and suggesting further reading. Dona Lucia's support wasn't just academic. It was an emotional one that reassured Ana that she wasn't alone in her struggle. With every challenge, with every suspicious look, Anna remembered the sparkle in Dona Lucia's eyes and the promise she made to herself. She wouldn't give up. College was more than a diploma. It was proof that determination and inner strength could overcome any barrier, no matter how high it seemed. Anna Carolina graduated from high school with honors, her grades a testament to her dedication and intelligence. However, the euphoria of graduation soon gave way to harsh reality. College, which had once seemed like a distant goal, now loomed large. Tuition fees were exorbitant, and the preparatory courses, essential for public universities, were beyond her financial reach. Her family, though proud of her academic achievements, couldn't provide the necessary support. Her father, a bricklayer, and her mother, a housekeeper, barely managed to cover basic household expenses. Determined not to be a burden and to find a way to finance her studies, Anna began looking for work. At 18, with an impeccable resume for her age, she hoped to find some opportunity. However, the reality of the job market was even harsher than that of school. In numerous interviews, Anna felt the suspicious looks, the veiled questions about her background, and the lack of opportunities for young Black people and those from the outskirts of the city. "You're very qualified for the position," some said, while others simply didn't return. She found herself trapped in a cycle of precarious jobs: bakery clerk, cleaning assistant, street vendor. The money she earned was minimal and barely enough to help at home, let alone save for college. Frustrations mounted. There were days when Anna felt completely helpless, wondering if her dream was just a cruel illusion. Nights were filled with silent tears as she leafed through old books, trying to keep the flame of knowledge alive. Her mother, sensing her daughter's anguish, tried to console her. "God knows what He's doing, my dear. Your time will come eventually." But Anna wanted more than to wait. She wanted to fight. She applied to every social program and scholarship she could find, filling out forms and standing in long lines. But the responses were always negative or took too long. One day, upon seeing an advertisement for a popular prep course at a community center, a new hope arose. Places were limited and competition was fierce. Anna dedicated herself intensely to studying for the entrance exam, using every free minute to review material and complete exercises. She knew this might be her only chance to get closer to her dream. The struggle was constant, the fatigue immense, but the image of herself with a diploma in hand and the promise of a better future for her family drove her forward, even when everything seemed to be conspiring against her. It was during one of the rare breaks from her exhausting routine that Anna Carolina found respite. At the popular prep school, where she dedicated her evenings after long hours of work, she excelled. Her thirst for knowledge was palpable, and even fatigue couldn't dim the sparkle in her eyes as she pored over her books. One Saturday afternoon, while reviewing notes in a simple coffee shop, where the coffee was cheap and the atmosphere welcoming, a man approached her table. "Sorry to bother you, but I couldn't help but notice your concentration. You seem to be unlocking the secrets of the universe," he said with a gentle smile. It was Lucas Mendez, a civil engineer who lived nearby and often frequented the place to read and work on personal projects. He was about 25, a few years older than Anna, and had an aura of calm and intelligence. Anna, initially surprised, responded with a slight smile, explaining that she was simply trying to unravel the secrets of the entrance exam. Lucas, intrigued by Anna's determination and vivacity, struck up a conversation. He was captivated by her passion for studying, the way her eyes sparkled when she talked about history and literature, and the resilience that shone through every word, even when she described her hardships. He, in turn, shared a bit of his own journey, how education had transformed his life, and his desire to contribute to a more just world. The conversation flowed for hours, and Anna felt a connection she had never experienced before. Lucas didn't see her as a Black girl from the outskirts, but as an intelligent, strong woman full of potential. He saw her for her essence, and this was something new and deeply comforting for Anna. In the days that followed, Lucas and Anna began meeting regularly. He helped her with the most difficult subjects in the prep course, shared books and articles, and, most importantly, offered invaluable emotional support. Lucas encouraged her to believe in herself, to resist difficulties, and to pursue her dreams with even greater determination. He became her confidant, her friend, and gradually, love began to blossom between them. The relationship with Lucas wasn't just a romance. It was a partnership that strengthened her, made her feel seen and valued. With him, Anna realized she didn't have to carry the weight of the world alone. Meeting Lucas was a turning point, a breath of hope that rekindled the flame of her dream, showing her that love and support could be the greatest strengths for overcoming adversity. With Lucas's unconditional support, Anna Carolina felt renewed energy to pursue her dream. He helped her research scholarship programs, prepare her documentation, and practice for interviews. Together, they discovered a quota program and student loans that, while requiring a future financial commitment, made college a tangible reality. Anna dedicated herself zealously to her studies, and to everyone's delight, she was accepted into a prestigious public university to study history, her great passion. The news was greeted with celebration at her home. Her thrilled parents saw their daughter's achievement as the fulfillment of a future they themselves could never have. Lucas hugged her proudly, his eyes shining as brightly as hers. It was the beginning of a new phase, but Anna knew the challenges were not over in the university environment. Anna encountered a new form of prejudice. Although quotas had opened doors, some classmates and even professors questioned her abilities, insinuating that she was there because of privilege rather than merit. Comments like "quota students lower the class's standard," or looks of surprise when she excelled in debates and assignments were constant. However, Anna was no longer alone. Dona Lucia's words and Lucas's support had given her new strength. She dedicated herself even more to her studies, transforming every prejudice into fuel to prove her worth. Lucas, always present, listened patiently, advised her, and reminded her of her intelligence and ability. He helped her understand that prejudice was a reflection of other people's ignorance, not a flaw in herself. Together, they faced difficulties, and their relationship deepened, becoming a safe haven amidst the turmoil. Anna also found a group of friends at the university, other students who, like her, fought for their place and recognition. They formed a support network, sharing experiences and strengthening each other. Anna Carolina not only adapted to university life, but thrived. She participated in research projects and study groups, and became an active voice advocating for inclusion and equality. Every class, every book, every debate was a personal victory. The path was arduous, but with each step, Anna felt closer to achieving not only her college dream, but also to building a future where her voice would be heard and her story an example of resilience. Her college years were intense, full of challenges and learning experiences, but Anna Carolina overcame them with the same determination that had driven her from the beginning. Her graduation day was a milestone, not only for her, but for her entire family. Her parents, with tears in their eyes and chests puffed with pride, watched her receive her history degree. Lucas, by her side, held her hand, a wide smile on his face, celebrating each victory as if it were his own. That moment, with her cap on her head and her diploma in hand, was the realization of a dream that many considered impossible. With her diploma, Anna quickly established herself in the job market. Her dedication and intelligence, combined with her unique perspective and passion for history, led her to a job at a renowned cultural institution, where she could apply her knowledge and make a difference. She became a respected researcher, contributing to the appreciation of Afro-Brazilian history and culture, something that has always motivated her. Alongside her professional rise, her relationship with Lucas flourished even more. He was her safe haven, her greatest supporter, and her companion through every step. The love that united them was solid, built on mutual respect, admiration, and shared values. In a simple but meaningful ceremony, Anna Carolina and Lucas Mendez married, sealing a union that represented not only the love between two people, but also the overcoming of barriers and the building of a future together. With her financial and professional stability, Anna was finally able to repay all her parents' sacrifices. She helped them renovate their home, provided them with a more comfortable life, and ensured they would never again experience deprivation. The joy of seeing her parents enjoy a dignified life was one of the greatest rewards of her journey. The girl who dreamed of going to college had become a fulfilled woman, not only because of her personal achievements, but also because of her ability to transform her family's reality, demonstrating that education was, indeed, the key to a new horizon. Years passed since Anna Carolina's graduation and her marriage to Lucas. Once a humble home on the outskirts of the city, Anna and Lucas's house was now a haven of peace and prosperity, the result of Anna and Lucas's hard work and dedication. She became a leader in her field, publishing articles and books rediscovering the history and culture of her people, and speaking at several universities, inspiring young people with her journey. Lucas, in turn, thrived in his engineering career, and together, they built a life of abundance and purpose. But Anna and Lucas's greatest joy came with the arrival of their children, a boy and a girl, who inherited their mother's intelligence and curiosity, and their father's kindness and character. Anna made a point of telling them her story, not as a tale of suffering, but as one of overcoming adversity, resilience, and love. She taught them the importance of education, of valuing their roots, and of fighting for a more just and equitable world. Her children grew up in an environment of love, security, and opportunity, something Anna never imagined for herself as a child. One late afternoon, sitting on the porch of her house, watching her children play in the garden, Anna Carolina felt a deep sense of gratitude. She looked at Lucas, who approached with a smile and took his hand. Who would have thought, Lucas? The girl who dreamed of going to college, who faced so much prejudice and so many difficulties, today has it all. Lucas squeezed her hand and kissed her forehead. You always knew, Anna. I was simply lucky enough to be by your side to witness your greatness. Your story is a legacy, a beacon for so many who still live in darkness. Anna smiled, her eyes welling up. She had achieved her dream college, her family, and, most importantly, she had built a meaningful life. Her journey was living proof that, with determination, support, and love, it is possible to transform reality, break cycles of adversity, and build a future where the most audacious dreams can become the most beautiful of realities. Anna Carolina's story wasn't just her story. It was a story of hope, struggle, and victory for all those who dare to dream big, regardless of their background.